Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the spine-chilling world of the paranormal as we explore the top 5 most haunted locations in Kansas. Get ready for some ghostly tales that will send shivers down your spine. From abandoned hospitals to forgotten cemeteries, Kansas has a certain energy. An energy that sends chills down your spine and makes you wonder what's lurking just beyond the veil. So buckle up, grab your EMF reader or your teddy bear if you're a scaredy cat like Ryan, because we're about to embark on a journey into the unknown. These are the stories, the legends, and the cold hard facts, or are they, about Kansas's most haunted? Let's get started. Okay, first up, we're headed to Atchison, Kansas. Picture this. A quaint, historic town, and smack dab in the middle of it, a house with a seriously dark secret. I'm talking about the Sallie House, a place where terror reigns supreme. This isn't your run-of-the-mill haunted house, folks. People have reported being physically scratched, shoved, and even burned by an unseen force. Some claim to have seen objects move on their own, like something out of The Conjuring.
The prime suspect? A young girl named Sallie, who's said to have died in the house under mysterious circumstances. Some say she was a mischievous spirit, playing pranks on the living. Others believe she's a tormented soul, lashing out in anger.
But Sallie's not the only ghost rumored to haunt this house. There's also talk of a malevolent entity, something far more sinister than a playful spirit. Witnesses have described feeling a suffocating presence, a darkness that chills them to the bone.
One of the most compelling pieces of evidence from the Sallie House is the sheer number of personal accounts. We're talking about countless individuals, many of whom had no prior belief in the paranormal, experiencing unexplainable events.
Imagine spending the night in a room where a young girl once tragically lost her life. Now, imagine feeling an icy hand brush against your arm in the dead of night. Is it the mischievous spirit of a child, a vengeful entity, or something else entirely? The Sallie House remains an enigma. So, if you ever find yourself in Atchison, Kansas, and you're feeling brave, or maybe a little foolish, swing by the Sallie House. From a haunted house to a haunted bridge, Kansas sure knows how to keep things interesting. Next up, we're venturing to Valley Center, home to Theorosa's Bridge, a place where sorrow echoes through time. Now, bridges have always had a certain mystique about them. They connect 2 points, 2 sides, 2 realms, you could say. And Theorosa's Bridge? Well, let's just say the connection here might be a little more otherworldly.
Legend has it that a woman named Theorosa, distraught over the loss of her child, took her own life on this very bridge. Now, her spirit is said to wander the area, forever searching for the child she tragically lost. People have reported hearing blood-curdling screams near the bridge, cries of anguish that pierce the night.
Some claim to have seen a shadowy figure, a woman in white gliding along the bridge, her sorrowful eyes searching for something she can never find. The bridge itself is isolated, surrounded by dense woods, adding to the eerie atmosphere.
Imagine standing on that bridge, the wind whistling through the trees, carrying the faint sound of a woman's weeping. It's enough to make even the staunchest skeptic question what might be lurking just beyond the veil.
Theorosa's Bridge stands as a testament to the enduring power of grief and the mysteries that lie at the intersection of life and death. So if you're ever in Valley Center and have a hankering for a good scare, take a stroll down to Theorosa's Bridge.
Chapter 3, Fort Leavenworth, where history haunts the present.
We're switching gears a little for our next stop, but trust me, it's no less spooky. We're marching into Fort Leavenworth, one of the oldest active military posts west of the Mississippi. Now, I don't know about you, but any place with that much history is bound to have a few skeletons in its closet, and I'm not just talking about the literal kind. Fort Leavenworth has seen it all. Wars, executions, epidemics. You name it, it's probably happened within these walls. So it's no surprise that the place is practically overflowing with restless spirits. We're talking about soldiers in full uniform, their faces etched with the horrors of war, seen pacing the grounds at night. We're talking about the chilling sounds of battle echoing through the empty barracks, as if the past is replaying itself for an unseen audience. One of the most haunted spots in Fort Leavenworth is said to be the old disciplinary barracks. They say the spirits of prisoners who met their end within those walls still linger, their anger and despair palpable in the air. But it's not just the spirits of soldiers that haunt this fort. There are also stories of a ghostly woman in white who roams the grounds, her mournful cries echoing in the night. Fort Leavenworth is a place where the line between history and the paranormal blurs.
Chapter 4. The Eldridge Hotel checking in for a haunting.
Let's be honest, who doesn't love a good haunted hotel? I mean, there's just something about those long, empty hallways and those rooms filled with the echoes of past guests that screams potential ghost sighting. And the Eldridge Hotel in Lawrence, Kansas. Well, let's just say it's got ghost stories checked into every room. This grand old hotel has stood for over a century, witnessing countless comings and goings, but some guests, it seems, have decided to extend their stay indefinitely in the afterlife. That is, the most famous resident of the Eldridge Hotel is Colonel Charlotte Eldridge himself, the hotel's namesake. They say he never truly left, choosing instead to roam the halls in his afterlife. Guests have reported seeing his dapper figure in the lobby, tipping his hat as he passes by, a mischievous glint in his spectral eyes. But the Colonel isn't the only one checking into the Eldridge for an eternal stay. There's also the story of a young boy who tragically died in the hotel. Some say he plays pranks on guests, giggling as he hides their keys and moves objects around the room. Room 506 is said to be particularly active, with reports of flickering lights, disembodied voices, and even the feeling of being touched by unseen hands. Imagine trying to enjoy a relaxing soak in the bathtub, only to hear the distinct sound of a child's laughter echoing from the empty hallway. The Eldridge Hotel is a place where every creak of the floorboard, every flicker of the light might just be a ghostly guest making their presence known. So, if you're looking for a unique and potentially terrifying getaway, book a room at the Eldridge Hotel.
Chapter 5. Stull Cemetery, Gateway to Hell.
All right, folks, we've saved the best, or should I say the most terrifying, for last. We're finishing our spooky road trip at Stull Cemetery in Douglas County, a place so shrouded in legend and fear that it's been dubbed one of the gateways to hell. Now, I know what you're thinking, a gateway to hell in Kansas. Really, but trust me, this cemetery has a reputation that precedes it, a reputation that's been built on centuries of chilling tales and unexplained events. Local legend claims that the devil himself visits Stull Cemetery twice a year, once on Halloween and again on the spring equinox. They say that on these nights, the veil between our world and the underworld thins, and all sorts of unholy things can happen. But even on a regular day, Stull Cemetery is not for the faint of heart. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking among the tombstones, their eyes glowing an eerie red in the darkness. Others have heard disembodied voices whispering their names as if the dead themselves are beckoning them closer. One of the most enduring legends of Stull Cemetery is the story of the church that once stood on the grounds. They say the church was so evil, so corrupted by dark forces that it had to be torn down. All that remains is a single crumbling stone staircase leading to nowhere, a chilling reminder of the building's sinister past. Imagine standing in the dead of night, surrounded by the silent tombstones, feeling a cold hand clasp your shoulder and a voice whisper in your ear, "You're not welcome here." Stull Cemetery isn't just a place where the dead are laid to rest. It's a place where the veil between worlds seems to thin, where the air crackles with an unsettling energy. So if you're feeling brave, or maybe a little foolish, pay a visit to Stull Cemetery. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Thanks for joining us on this eerie journey through Kansas's most haunted locations. We've explored crumbling houses, desolate bridges, historic forts, grand hotels, and even a potential gateway to hell. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling content. Have you ever visited any of these haunted places, or maybe you have your own Kansas ghost story to tell? Let us know in the comments below, and remember, the next time you're feeling brave, keep an eye out for the unexplained. You never know what might be lurking just around the corner, especially in Kansas.